I hate to say I told you so.
Do you?
But last week, what did I tell you was happening? And why did I tell you how the Green Bay Packers completely misplayed their situation with Aaron Rodgers? Because they couldn't wait till the very end, right? Remember, the first asking price for Aaron Rodgers was 2 first-round picks. Then it
Which
came
was
off
insane.
Of that right, but then it came off that to a more reasonable 1 first-round pick and something else. Okay, great. But the Packers couldn't wait. They couldn't wait to start talking about Aaron Rodgers in the past tense and talking about his career and saying we're ready to move on. Him coming back isn't our preferred choice right here. They couldn't wait, and they had to do it. And all they did, we talked about it last week, all they did was completely torpedo their own value for him. Because now you can't have Aaron Rodgers back. And so what happens now? Now the Jets are going to sit back and say, oh, we don't need to give up a first-round pick because you can't have him back. And now what did Packers GM Brian Gutekunst say today? Everybody spoke today. We don't necessarily need a first-round pick back from Aaron Rodgers. I told you last week the Jets were going to take advantage of that because the Packers couldn't shut up until it was all done. They're the guys in the heist movie that blab, and they got to get taken. They're the Stacks of Goodfellas. Oh, you couldn't just be cool, Stacks. You had to go to your girlfriend's house and leave the truck where they could find it. Yeah, go, make that coffee to go. They were the Stacks of this situation, and so now here they are. They're not getting a first-round, and that's why the deal isn't done right now, because the Packers have to save face, and they got to get everybody on board with, hey, we're not going to get a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers. Just so you know, we're not getting that pick. And here's Gutekunst today dropping that. We don't necessarily need a first-round pick back, and the Jets are walking around flexing, saying, yeah, maybe we'll give up a 6th-round pick or a 7th-round pick. Now, it's going to be more of a couple of seconds or a second and a third, something like that, which is much more reasonable and feasible than giving up the first-round pick they might have had to give up if the Packers could have just been cool. But they couldn't be cool, so now the Jets are going to win this deal twice. They're going to win it by getting Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to win it by not giving up what you thought they'd have to give up for him. The Jets are going to be double winners here, Mike Harmon.
Well, maybe you can break that streak, buddy, and pass that torch to somebody else at the end of the season here. Look, which will be the 2023-2024 NFL season, as it looks like that's going to become a thing. Look, when the Gutekunst thing, to me this morning, was one of the more laughable things ever. It was like an open-air version of those dumb confessional things on reality TV. What's your relationship status? Well, we tried contacting him multiple times, and he ghosted me. That's really where we got to in this.
Yeah.
Our inability to reach him or respond. And anyway, I think at that point we just kind of had to – I had to do my job and reach out and understand that a trade could be possible, ... And then it comes back down at the end. Certainly whenever a player may have issues, you prefer that they talk to you directly and not do it in the media. But that's not necessarily the way he goes about it, and that's okay. And then you'd cue the sad Tom Rinaldi music. Maybe they'd extinguish a torch. Maybe they'd rip the dead rose out of his hand. I don't know. Whatever the case may be. But Gutekunst looked like a guy who is defeated. That this offseason has taken years off his life and maybe has snatched his soul away just having to deal with this. But regarding the trade demand, yeah, I mean, it was a dubious thought that you were going to get 2 first-rounders. And look, it's all reports and speculation in that regards as to what you believe is real or imagined. But for a guy that has been indecisive about his desire to play, now 2 MVP awards in that process, but both years, I don't know that I want to play. All right, I'm back. And then this year, darkness retreats, McAfee interviews, talking all sorts of junk about, well, a little bit of everything. Nobody knows me. Packers leak some stuff to try to smoke him out. Like, you're getting ready to take somebody down in a sabotage move. Let's go to Survivor. Let's just take Survivor and run with that. And you're trying to take down the strongest member of the tribe. No, it didn't work. Didn't work. He's still laughing at you. He climbed a tree and is waving at you while your camp burns. So now you've got this situation where it's the Jets or nobody. He always still has that option of just screwing everybody and walking away, which would be funny as hell. But as it stands for the Packers, yeah, this becomes the kindergarten. You get what you get, and you don't get upset at this point. Give me a couple of day twos and a conditional if he does anything and say ends that playoff drought.
I feel like the Packers they got together either last night or today, and it's like they were all just tired and sweaty, and they just said, it's just done, okay? We screwed up. I'm tired. I want to move on. Because now already you have the Gutekunst part of it is, hey, we don't need a first-round pick. We tried to talk to him all offseason, and he ghosted us, right? Like, I'm just seeing Gutekunst trying to text Aaron Rodgers.
Well, like, legitimately.
The text isn't going through.
Are you there?
So I feel like they're just done. I feel like they're just done.
You know what that means, right, Jason?
What's that, buddy?
That he hates the Packers more than Adam Schefter.
He might, yes.
Because he actually responded to Schefter, lose my number.
Yeah,
he didn't
but
even bother getting back to the Packers.
But I don't know. At this point,
what do you mean you don't know?
He might know.
It wasn't up for debate.
He might hate Schefter more than the Packers. I don't know. Who does he hate more, the Packers or Schefter?
No, when you respond to somebody and not respond to somebody, I think the one that you do not respond to, you probably hate more.
Oh, yeah. Well, but it becomes also know it's going to agitate them more. Right? And it's going to force a reaction. It's going to get them pissy and throwing stuff around. And whatever their relationship was, again, we'd had all those reports that maybe there was some friction between Rodgers and LaFleur. And I keep going back to that Tampa game when Rodgers had his opportunity to plant his feet on the turf and call a timeout, saying we're not bringing out the blanket field goal kicker and giving the ball back to Tom Brady. He missed that opportunity, but clearly he harbors great resentment for that attempt and that call for that playoff game. So with Gutekunst, I mean, we had no idea, where it the relationship was, how fractured it was. But clearly, if you're not even going to return calls. Now, granted, in a darkness retreat or if you're walking the earth on your ayahuasca retreats and wandering Guatemala or wherever you were going, maybe you don't have good cell reception. So maybe those messages didn't come through. You know how when you go somewhere and you lose a signal and you think you sent a message and then it didn't go through? And you don't recognize that till later on, all of a sudden goes, oh, that didn't go through. That's bad. That's bad. I wanted to get back, and now they're probably mad at me. Although if you're Aaron Rodgers, you basically say, oh, well, that's too bad.
I thought I returned that. I'm sorry. It was sitting in my sent, and I didn't send. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
I thought you said we were all right, Spider. They're just fellas again.
Now it's like, okay, listen, we're just done. Can we just go with the whole we hate him now and he and try to win the PR battle of it? And they're probably like, yes, fine. Okay. So I'm going to let everybody know today we're not going to get a first-round pick. People are going to be pissed. I got to let them know. But I'm also going to say that we tried to talk to him, and he blew us off. It's like now they've realized, okay, we blabbed when we shouldn't, so we screwed ourselves getting a first-round pick back. So now instead, let's just go full bore ahead with we tried, and he was the bad guy in this because we got to find a way to win that battle. Because there's going to be a lot of fans who are upset that this is how it happened, especially when it goes down. We don't get a first-round pick, and we let the Jets get the better of us in a negotiation. There's some teams where, hey, we got the Steelers got the better of us, or that no. When the Jets do, it's like, oh well, we gotta figure something out here. So it's
but
like
here's
it's
the
like
problem:
they hit
is
that
you
resignation.
You snatched a huge loss, and you had the victory because I think you had. I mean, a lot of non-NFL fans certainly hated Aaron Rodgers, and Packer fans were just tired of the dance because they did it 15 years ago. So you had public opinion, you had everybody on your side, and you blew it.
You blew it, Smith.
Aaron sent you a text. Not sure if you got it. If this is your email, let me know. Wanted to talk to you, buddy, about how great a season we're going to have.
You buddied him.
CC Pat McAfee. If you talk to him before we do, let him know we love him. Dear, sincerely, the Packers.
Mike, do you realize how glorious it's going to be when the Jets don't have that plan B?
They so biffed it. I
don't know. We got to get to that other part of the Jets side of things because I raised my hand on the assumption everybody's making based on public comments of a certain figure in that organization.
No, I'm going to be right the whole time because Zach Wilson's going to start.
Dude, just worry about the Lakers, okay? Just worry about the Lakers and the biggest 7 games of LeBron's career. Okay? Just work about the Lakers.
Okay?
Bulls.